Hello, trading is closed on December 9th, 2020. Let's do our disclaimer, then review our calls. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, December the 10th. If we gap sharply the wrong way, the call's killed before the open. Can't guarantee I'm right, so trade at your own risk. Look for the pattern with the early high. This is it. Tomorrow's pattern also has the early high. We said we had a higher target. If it were to print tomorrow, we'd have to gap and overtake yesterday's high. We did that. We said the pattern's usually positive, but if it failed, it was a straight line drop, and that is failure. That's a straight line drop. Typically, it leads to lower prices, but let's not forget that tomorrow's open can substitute for today's close. So if something happens overnight and we gap and take this high out early, that pattern's killed. During the day, MEJT gives us a higher target, 36.8641. It's a target for tomorrow. It isn't really that far away. Frankly, if this is the top, I'd be happier if it didn't print. It isn't really part of the rules, but almost always MEJT leaves a failed target when it makes a major change in trend. And we said that we shouldn't have too much longer in terms of time for the market to top out. So this is a candidate. We aren't certain at this point. So if we don't see that and we keep dropping, the odds increase that's a major change in trend. Of course, if it is going to print, that doesn't mean this isn't the top, because you could generate a new failed target later. And again, you don't have to according to the rules. Just almost always happens. We aren't really far enough detached from our previous chart, the one we showed yesterday. A few points doesn't make a difference as far as the wave count. So if this is a high, you can explain it. But until we take out some of these lows, can't be convinced. Now it is negative, either new high, closed negative, undercut some prior highs, even undercut some prior lows. It's a pretty negative action. You need to invalidate it promptly by overtaking today's high. But you have to confirm this as well by going under today's close by 1 cent. So if we gap up, this break doesn't mean anything. You have to undercut today's close. It's negative action that can still be, it's not irrecoverable negative action. Well, tomorrow's pattern has the early high. Doesn't mean you won't get down. Mixed signals, you all know the rules. It's positive. The day-long drop closed over the midday lows. This is the top, and it's going to drop. We should gap and undercut those lows promptly. If not, it's not really a valid signal. Or I'm going to rephrase that. You can't be certain you can't be certain of the signal. It's negative. Today's normally bullish pattern didn't close near its high. Unless we gap and promptly overtake the high, should see lower prices. Doesn't mean you have to close lower. It's negative. Hit an all-time high, close negative, undercut prior highs, even prior low. It's all negative stuff. But bears didn't seal the deal because of the last hour recovery. Today's high is a candidate for the end of the rally leg. Target of retracing the rising wedge. I think that's around 35.11 cash. However, till some significant lows fall, it's possible we could recover from this. If today did see the high, would be a deal. The target didn't print. I'd like to see a failed target or major changes in trend. But if it does print, it doesn't mean it isn't a change in trend. We could generate some more target, and it's a tendency. It isn't a hard and fast rule. So, negative action, If we take this out and we see lower prices, but there's no guarantee we'll see lower prices because of the late recovery. We had a drop. I'm calling this a three-wave pattern rather than an impulse I would expect, but don't require. And we recovered over all these lows. It's not enough to seal the deal yet, but if we keep dropping, there's a good chance that was it. And that is today's call.